You think the people who can fix anything are just smarter than you. They're not. That belief is the exact reason you freeze when something breaks. Your relationship, your career, your code, your car, your kids' behavior, your money. You assume they have some gift you weren't born with. They don't. What they have is a psychology, a specific way of looking at broken things that you can install in your own mind starting today. By the end of the next 10 minutes, you'll know exactly what runs through their head when everything around them is falling apart, and why you keep getting stuck in the same loop year after year. You're about to stop being someone who waits to be rescued. You're about to become someone people call when they're out of options. I've spent years watching the difference between people who solve problems and people who collect them. The gap isn't IQ. It isn't even experience. It's something quieter, a set of mental moves. Most people never learn because nobody teaches them in school. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. If you've ever stared at a broken situation and felt your chest tighten while your mind went blank, you've been missing these moves your whole life. Here are the 6 psychological habits of people who know how to fix everything. Not theory, not motivation. The actual mechanics of how their minds work when yours shuts down. 1. Don't take problems personally. Most people see a problem and immediately make it about themselves. The Wi-Fi is down. What did I do wrong? The deal fell through. Am I a failure? The pattern is invisible because it happens in half a second. The fixer doesn't think this way. Psychologists call it cognitive defusion, the ability to treat a problem as separate from your identity. Translation: the problem is on the desk, not in your chest. When you fuse with the problem, your brain spends most of its energy managing your feelings about the situation instead of the situation itself. Fixers have trained themselves to step back and look at the problem like it belongs to a stranger. The same brain, freed from shame, suddenly works twice as fast. The next time something breaks in your life, say one sentence out loud before you do anything else. This is a problem, not a verdict. Then describe it in 3 flat sentences, as if it happened to someone else entirely. Watch how fast your thinking clears. 2. Ask why 5 times. You react to problems with statements. This is broken. This is unfair. This shouldn't be happening. Fixers do something different. They interrogate. They lead with questions, not conclusions. Toyota built its entire engineering culture on a tool called the 5 whys. Keep asking why until you reach the actual root, not the symptom. Most people give up at the first why because the first answer feels good enough. The water is leaking. Why? The pipe is loose. Done. The fixer keeps going. Why is the pipe loose? Because the pressure is wrong. Why is the pressure wrong? Because the valve was never set right. That's how you stop fixing the same thing every 6 months. When something breaks tomorrow, grab a piece of paper. Write the problem in 1 sentence at the top, then ask why 5 times in a row, writing each answer underneath. The real issue is almost never the one you started with, and you'll feel it the moment you find it. 3. Trust the not knowing. You hate uncertainty. So do they. The difference is they don't run from it. The moment most people don't know what to do, they panic and grab the nearest answer just to feel control again. The fixer sits in the not knowing on purpose. Researchers call this tolerance for ambiguity, and it's one of the strongest predictors of real-world problem solving in any field. In plain English, the longer you can stand not knowing, the better the answer you'll find. Premature solutions are the reason your fixes don't last. You guessed instead of diagnosed. You bought the first answer your nervous system offered you. The next time you feel the urge to immediately do something about a problem, set a timer for 15 minutes and just look at it. Write what you observe on paper. Resist every impulse to act. The right move usually shows up around minute 13, but only if you don't fill the silence with the wrong one first. 4. Break the blob into parts. You see one big mess. They see a system. When something feels unfixable, it's almost always because you're looking at it as a single blob instead of the moving parts underneath. Engineers do this instinctively. They call it decomposition. Take any broken thing and split it into the smallest possible components, then test each one. A failing relationship isn't one problem. It's communication, plus resentment, plus mismatched expectations, plus exhaustion, plus untreated stress. A failing business isn't one problem. It's pricing, plus positioning, plus the wrong customer, plus a leaky funnel. You can't fix a blob. You can fix a list. Take whatever feels overwhelming in your life right now and write down its 5 smallest moving parts on paper. Don't solve them yet. Just name them. The act of naming alone converts panic into a project. Then pick the single one you can actually move on this week and ignore the rest until you've handled it. 5. Move before you're ready. Most people wait until they feel confident before they act. Fixers act to become confident. They've figured out something the rest of us spend decades missing. Confidence is downstream of action, not upstream of it. You don't think your way into fixing something. You move, you get information back, you adjust, you move again. Studies on expert decision-making show that high performers make smaller, faster moves and correct constantly, while average performers make one big move. After a long delay and pray it works, bias for action isn't recklessness. It's the willingness to be wrong in public for a few minutes so you can be right for the rest of the year. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. Identify the smallest possible action you can take in the next 60 minutes. 1 phone call, 1 email, 1 honest conversation, 1 experiment, and do it before you. Talk yourself out of it. Information beats imagination every single time. 6. Own the outcome. Here's what separates them from almost everyone else. When the fix doesn't work, they don't blame the situation, the people, the timing, or the weather. They go back in. Psychologists call this internal locus of control, the belief that your actions, not your circumstances, drive your results. It doesn't mean everything is your fault. It means everything is your responsibility from this moment forward. People with external locus wait to be rescued by someone smarter, richer, or luckier. People with internal locus rescue themselves and somehow always seem to get the breaks. They're not luckier. They just refuse to outsource the outcome of their own life. Catch yourself the next time you say it's not my fault. It might even be true, and it doesn't matter. Replace it with one phrase, "What's mine to do here?" That sentence alone will rewire how you move through every problem you'll ever face. Here's the reframe that changes everything. You've been chasing the wrong thing this whole time. The people who fix everything don't have answers, they have orientations. The thing that makes them effective isn't a smarter brain you weren't born with. It's a stance toward broken things that you can adopt the next time something in your life falls apart. The skill was never the secret. The posture was. So, remember the 6. Don't take problems personally. Ask why 5 times in a row. Trust the not knowing. Break the blob into parts. Move before you feel ready. Own the outcome no matter what. The next time something breaks around you, you won't freeze. You'll know exactly what to do, and that quiet certainty is what changes a person from the inside out. If any of this hit, the rest of the channel will too. We go deep on the psychology behind people who actually build the lives they want. Subscribe so you don't lose this. And tell me in the comments, which of the 6 have you been getting wrong the longest?